Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. This Remain Lifestyle and Culture by Sir Alex. Today, we are on a special seminar with you, and it's going to be more and more special when we talk about community development. So now, what is community development? What do you know about community development? What are your challenges in the community, and what impact you think you can make positively that the government or your community is stopping you from doing it? And how can we all work together? That is what today is about. So my name remains Sir Alex. Again, welcome to our seminar. First, I'm just going to try and say hello to everyone here that has come before I can do the first introduction when we talk about why are we here and what is community development before the interaction. Can I welcome him, President of BACO, Benin Active Repatriation Campaign Organization, Sir Odette.
Thank you very much, Alice. Thank you for having me. And to other girls that are about to come, it's a pleasure meeting them.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. We also have the chief coordinator in Nigeria, Edo State, a Bail is Free campaign, Sir Oni Edigan Justice. Are you there, sir?
Yes, I'm here. It's my pleasure to join with you people, and I really appreciate and I give God the glory.
Thank you so much, sir. Again, we also have His Excellency. Everyone knows Kofi. He has been here in his role when it comes to diplomacy and education in regard to teaching Africa. When we talk about the real teacher, teaching the language, teaching the diplomacy, talking about equality and the role the government should play when we talk about fair society. So that's where it stands. I said, Sir Kofi Godwin Dove, welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me once more here, and I'm very happy that I can contribute to this project. I'm also pleased to share my idea with the invitees. So I hope you guys will enjoy the show.
Thank you so much, viewers. Again, let me welcome you again. You can share and you can also ask questions. At the same time, you have the power to contribute. So why are we here today? We are here today on a special seminar with you, the viewers, the community, the global community, whoever is going to watch it anytime, wherever you are in the world. When we talk about community development, what is community development? So now we have come together to understand that community development is kind of something that involves everybody, involve the government most especially when we talk about environmental, economy, when we talk about empowering individual, community groups, or also empowering professionals, even you, if you are a community leader. That is what community development is about. It's about also participating, promoting well-being, so that everyone can actually foster local government empowerment. We're talking about leadership to promote justice, to promote equality, and promote unity among every community when we talk about community development. So now, in emphasis, I understand in terms of my own knowledge and my role when we talk about community development education, job. I actually complete my community development in University of Sussex in the UK. So now I have understanding when we talk about you cannot engage in community without tools. So my own experience, I understand when we talk about social determinant of health. So now, when we talk about social determinant of health, we are talking about the way people were born, how they live, where they work, where they sleep, their genome score, or maybe the place they travel to, maybe their environment at work, the road they go through, whether they have good health care or not, their education, What kind of education? We have people with PhD, we have people with low-class education. So now, social determinants of health determine or kind of picture how we all are behaving today. If you have good society, that means you have good social determinants of health in your community. What is the power of community development? Is to promote life expectancy. To promote life expectancy. So the other tools, which I also want to talk about today, is co-production. So co-production is about people-centered, about asking me, if you are my president, now you are my governor, asking me, what do I want? How do I want you to afford it for me? And how can we work together? Because if I want something, you might not be able to afford it. You might not be able to know how to engage with me. However, I need to also tell you how you can help me to get to that process. So in general, that is my own full knowledge in regard to community development. So my own role now, when we talk about co-production, we have everyone here. I'm going to first of all introduce when we talk about training, education, partnering with individuals in the community as a charity or voluntary organization. I have with me here, I'm going to give an example of how individual can engage when it comes to community development. Sir Oni Edigin Justice. Sir Oni Edigin Justice is going to talk more about what he does in regard to engaging in community later. However, he promotes teaching when it comes to working with the police to stop corruption. That is only role is engaging with. So by doing that, he engaged teaching with the community and teaching the police how to stop corruption. So that actually helped him to actually hold the police and say, no, you have done something wrong today. Stop it. Then police will stop it. Then the same thing, he will hold citizens, no, you have given police money. You are not supposed to give police money. That is why his organization is called Bail is Free. So now, to me, how can this be something that is connected to community development? People who are poor or people who are less privileged, having organization like Bail is Free, that is standing there that everyone is entitled to bail is free or entitled to come out of police station without paying any money, without the courts justifying them. That means that person will be able to save money. They don't have to borrow money or take any loan to leave the police station. They don't have to pay any money, any dime. I was surprised for someone who took that role in our society of today when we talk about challenging community, like a developing world, where we have a high level of inequality. So there might be argument, there might be challenges to how can he do that? Or is he himself corrupt? We don't know, but he's going to express himself. So I'm going to give Sir Justice Oni Edigin to kind of explain to us, when we talk about community development, how are you engaging in the community in regard to developing your community and making it safe? Or are you working with the government?
Oh, thank you, my fellow citizens. As I said, I want to appreciate this opportunity that you people give to us. My name, as he said, is Oni Edigin. I am a human rights activist. I have the Coordinator General, Bail is Free Campaign Group organization. Our aims is to assist the federal government of Nigeria to stop corruption in our institutions. The mission is to build fairness and egalitarian society. Yes, my brother was talking about you don't need to have to borrow money when you are in police facility or you are in police trouble. No, that is not the idea. The idea is it become a merchandise to our police in the sense that the primary role of the police was defeated. permit me to be quoting from the sections of the Police Act 2020, the one that guide us. So the general objectives of the police, section 1 of the Police Act, talk about accountability and transparencies. Then the B section talk about respect to human rights and fundamental freedoms. So when it now comes to the idea whereby any citizens is not in a police trouble or is not in police custody, we now find out that they don't longer do the responsive duties, like the constitutional responsive duty. They are not there to make bail. So if you're familiar with Nigerian citizens, you now see that crime now increase. Crime now increase because their duty were diverted to a matter of making money to their self. So these are all the ideas that make us to come up with this initiative. I said, no, we can't continue like this. You see a rich man or a rich criminal who has what it takes, he can never be arrested because he can bribe himself out of it. I don't know how it happened in other Western world, but I'm speaking of my experience in the country Nigeria I live. So why the poor, the innocent, who also become a victim to being in the police station? Because he does not have the money, this one will not be the one to be paraded, or this one will not be the one to take to court. This one will not be the one to take to prison, because he does not have his money or our money to buy himself out. So all those ideas give us, to make us to come up and say, no, we must help the communities by stand for the equity. As my brother have said, stand for equity and fairness. What we have in Nigeria is inequality, not equity. We have first class, second class, and lower class. And that is inequalities. But equities, everybody must stand fairness, accountable. So now, let's go back to our positions in terms of engaging the communities, in terms of bringing light to the communities. In Nigeria today, because of the hard parts we are facing in the economics, for example, as I speak to you now, we have not been having light for the past 1 week. This is a big challenge to us. Now, I will not go and struggle to get a generator. Maybe my income, I have to share it, some for fuel or diesel, some for, name them. At the end of the day, I work hardly. This one prevents me to know about my rights. And even though I know about my rights, I will not even implement it because I have many bees on my neck to show down. So in attempt to implement my rights, the bee will be will be there for me to come and settle. So that will be the problems of many Nigerians. Even when you call them for lectures, just as we had now, they will look at the money they are supposed to spend for data to come and watch. Maybe will do 1 or 2 things. For them, they will know, they will ignore it, forgetting that this is where they get the knowledge that can make them cross the bridge.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I'm just going to pause you there. I'm not stopping you. I'm just going to pause you a little bit because we have understand that, I think I've understood now when you were speaking that when we talk about community development, the issue you analyze is economy, environment. You also talk about corruption. You also talk about lack of human right activity. Again, our role, when I come back to your role, we're going to come back to your role again. how you are able to do this, to stop, to empower people, to reduce it, because your role is to stop the corruption, isn't it? Yeah? Your role is to
Yes.
stop the corruption. Okay.
Yes.
We're going to come back to that, how you are able to do this. Before we come back, let me quickly say hello to our new guest, Sir Austin Akeni. Thank you so much for joining us. We've just introduced community development as part of human right for everyone. We talk about social determinant of health. We also talked about co-production tools to use in terms of awareness of community development, about working with leaders, community, as we are now. We are here to talk together in terms of intervention. I don't know if you want to introduce yourself before Sir Kofi says something about community development, our role.
All right. Thank you so much for this platform and this opportunity. My name is Austin Akeni. I am a social activist. I am someone who is very much passionate about the community and how much we as individual and collectively can do to improve our community, both socially, mentally, financially, and economically. So I think this is a very important topic, and I'm pleased to be here to join you guys in this very important discussion. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. That was very detailed. Sir Kofi, I don't know. Do you want to help us to understand your role and in today's society when we talk about community development leader?
Okay. To start with, I am a teacher, so on a regular basis, I am someone who actually brings up these social issues and try to get people to think of things in a different perspective. Okay, so I come with facts and I let people bring their own facts so we can have this conversation. Because one thing that we must understand about community development is the moment we understand the psychological aspect of it, you understand the psychological benefits of developing our communities, it becomes a lot more easier. And on most of these platforms, that was where I met my brother. On most of these platforms, we speak on these issues. We speak about how as a people we can come together and fight for our freedom, right? And I am someone who actually believes that if we want to talk about justice, equity, or freedom, you understand, it is something that starts from the top. Freedom can never start from the root. You understand? So we have to teach people how they can be able to look at their communities. If there's a way in which let's say if they have politicians who actually contribute to those communities, how they can work with them, and if these politicians are actually not working with them, how they can actually cut these people off and go out and go after the benefits of their community, even if not for themselves but for the benefits of their own children, right? Because we're actually tired of trying to get to call the political system's attention to pay attention to so many communities. Because the only thing that we have seen over the past years is growth, you understand, in wealthy communities, and the poorer communities, you understand, continue going from bad to worse, right? So unless my role as a teacher is just to open people's eyes so that they can see that I can do better, you understand? And me doing better, I can be able to connect with my people. I can be able to share my knowledge. I can be able to assemble my people so we can do great things for our community. I was someone who actually grew up in the church. You understand? I grew up in doing this youth fellowship stuff. And I remember there was a time in which we were not able to raise funds, and that was my responsibility to raise funds for that organization. Okay, so that was where I actually started involving with public, because in churches we normally have these Sunday schools, and we have these youth programs. So I was the one who was able to mobilize people. We found a way in which we were able to raise money, like go do cleaning jobs in people's houses. You understand, and raising money. And by the time I left, I was there for something like 6 months. I was able to leave money in the coffers. Okay, so this is something I know how to go about. I always come up with means to create that to make people aware that they can be self-sufficient. And self-sufficiency is mostly the way to go, because creating this dependency or dependencies on these political systems has not helped. It has actually, we actually have this negative, I would say, pest and prey relationship, in which they come down to us, they use us for their own benefits, and you understand our community still continue to be the same. So let me just stop here, let other men go. I think you are muted, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm really pleased that you emphasized on your role as a teacher. That's number one. And you also made mention of your role as empowerment leader in your community. So now viewers, if you look at community development on a picture, I think community development still stands in the same role, like everyone here today is emphasizing on their activity, and they also talk about what they are doing. So now I might be able to ask you, what is your role in your community if you are listening to all of us today? And what are the things you think you are doing in the society to better your community? Like Kofi said, he's an independent person. He doesn't rely on the government, because not that he's not obeying the law, following the rules, but he doesn't rely on the government when there is human need, because he doesn't think they can actually bring everything back. When we talk about you paying your tax and getting the refund, there's nothing there. So now I'm going to go down to Sir Adamson. Sir Adamson, I don't know. I was tampering with people's mic. Can you unmute yourself? Okay, yes, you can do it. Adamson, do you want to tell us again, because you engage in BACO, Benin Actifa Repatriation Campaign Organization, so people call it stolen property, African stolen property. So you are going about everywhere collecting them in every way you are to collect the stolen property. Okay, now, what is your role in today's society in regard to community development?
Thank you for having me, and I listened very well to my two honorable speakers. Community is based on interest. It don't have to be being rich, being educated, being uneducated, being popular. It has to be interest. You have to have interest of your community, whether you are in your country, whether you are outside your country, wherever you are. If you have that interest, that feeling of helping your community, there will always be a way to help your community. You don't have to be rich. If you are, that's a plus. You can help your community with money. People go to their community to set up schools, some construct roads, some build markets in one way or the other. But there is people too who don't have this money. You cannot just say, because I don't have money, I'm not going to help the society. No. Even your advice alone is a contribution to the society. Number one, when you are helping your community, one thing that should be first in your mind is not what you can get. If you are helping your community based on what you can get, you are not contributing. You have to help your community because this is my role. It's a commitment. You vow for it, you go for it. The Benin Artifacts Repatriation Organization, which I'm the president, Mr. Diggy, you know how we fought. All what we did, I could say probably 90% of the money that was spent was my money. And I did not do it based on somebody have to refund the money to me. No. If that was what happened, the German government would not have worked with me. They would not have listened to me. And the UK would not have listened to me. They would have just concluded he's looking for money, don't mind him. Even back home in my city, Benin City, there was a rumor like that I'm doing it because of money. No, but I think later on they realized that I was doing what I was doing because of the interest I have for my community. And that Benin Artifacts was not based on Benin City or Nigeria alone. It was for the whole Africa. It was for the Black race. And the Black Lives Matters in America really helped us that time as well. So I never thought one day that somebody would pay me back. I feel this is where I should contribute to my community. I don't have money to go and build schools. I don't have money to go and build market. But this Benin Artifacts, which go down to the pains of our people, somebody has to be held accountable for it. And we are still on it. We're not giving up. So this is how community are being helped. That is on one side. On the other side, I'm just talking of selective contribution. There are collective contributions. And that got to do with down to your community. I remember when I was growing up, I told you the other day, Mr. Diggy, I was born in the village. Grew up to an extent, grew up finally in Benin City. But we're still connected to the village, though we don't go there anymore now because of how the whole thing turned out to be. But there was a community development. There was a road that connect my village to Ugoni Yokorion. It was constructed with bare hands, with shovel and digging. I'm telling you this. My daddy, they were all involved. Rubber tree were fell down, removed with hands. That's a community job. They were committed in creating this road. This could be about 5-kilometer roads. It was constructed with bare hands, no caterpillar, no machine, no whatsoever. That is determination, and that is community development. And I know many communities that build hospitals. It might not be major hospital, probably maternity, as we used to call them. They contribute money together, they build it. That is community development. And then you see community too. Before the Civil War of 1966 in Nigeria, I don't want to go into that now. It's a long story. There was an engineer that was shot at Ugoni Yokorion. It's a song, everybody sing it tomorrow. So he was trained by the community. Was sent to UK. The money was contributed by the community, trained. But unfortunately, the Civil War met him. The Igbo soldiers went there and he was shot. So when they killed him, as they were going, the father said, no, they must kill him. The father blew the car. Finally, they shot the dad. I don't know if you who understand Benin will know that. It's in song. That is the father. He died, the son died the same day. So what I'm trying to say, tragically anyway, I don't want to talk about that. But what I'm trying to say is this. There are always been a community development. If we, as people now, we are all of us talking here, and I said my brother from Nigeria, the Bay for Free coordinator, is the one in
Bill is
Nigeria now.
free, yeah.
I guess my friend Kofi is not living in Ghana anyway. And okay, so what I'm saying is that it doesn't matter where you live. It is the interest you have for your community that help build a community. And I repeat, it's not what is in your pocket. No. It is your determination to help your community that build community. He is a teacher. He's using his profession to empower his people. I'm not a teacher. I am aviation logistic expert. When I was running Benin Artifacts, I was an employee with Airbus A380 aircraft. And I left. I'm working out with a helicopter, Sanfran Helicopter, a French company. It doesn't stop me. I'm just an employee. It doesn't stop me from not contributing to my community. Anything tradition that come from Nigeria that have to be done in Germany, the German government will inform me, and they're always happy that I'm here to help. I feel honored. Nobody is paying me. German government have not paid me. The only money I will get, maybe they invite me to come and deliver a speech. I'll go there, they give me a little money. I don't care. That money there, I will use it for drink, and people who use camera to cover the event will share the money. I'm gone because I'm not rich, but I'm not poor either. I have what can take care of body and soul. I think I'm satisfied. In that aspect, this is what I will give my community. I'm giving my community. Let me leave it so that I will not cover the day, so that speaker can speak.
Thank you so much. I think we only have 30 minutes left, which we have 1 hour for the program anyway, seminar. So right now, first, let me thank everyone because you have laid down your contribution to the society. We talk about teaching, we talk about time, we talk about finance, we also talk about empowerment. And empowerment is what I really fish out that is common among every one of us here. When it comes to making the road or constructing road, and at the same time changing people's mindsets. Because teaching is about, I don't know, Kofi might be able to emphasize on that. It's about changing people's attitude, behavior, bringing them to the level that is conform, isn't it? That they can be able to contribute to their environment, isn't it? Because you are not teaching them to be under you, to be for you, isn't it? To bring them. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, that's the truth, sir. And if you actually look at the Chinese school system, you understand, like, what have we noticed? The children are being taught trades. You understand? And so it's part practical and theory. And so I normally incentivize my students to first, you learn how to deal with money. You understand? The first thing is you learn how to you learn who you are as a person. And secondly, learn how to deal with money. You understand? Thirdly, you learn how to associate. So I bring these political topics into the classrooms, to my classrooms, and I normally ask my students, what do you think? Because it is good for us to start building people's mind about politics and about the environment in which they live in from a very young age. I'll give you guys an example. Why do you think Europeans incentivize us to look at cartoon movies? Because that is where brainwashing starts. You understand? That is when black people start feeling white. That is where you start teaching black people that the white person is better than them. You understand? So children start building up these fantasies, and they grow up to a certain age, and it actually becomes a belief. Because what the mind actually, what they normally see is being planted in the subconscious. Remember when we went to school? What did we sing in assembly? Right? we sang that learning is better than silver and gold. Now we are regretting. As older, now that we're old, we noticed that we were actually being duped. We were actually being told to forget about the minerals that God has blessed us with. You understand? To pay attention and on developing our countries, to just read, and read. Have you ever thought about it this way?
I think you're making me disagree with the message in the Bible that silver and gold have I known. As long as
okay, but let's let me tip in Kofi.
All right. Yeah.
We heard the same song. Our own was even different. Our own was that ABC OMO. Every child here who want to go to Europe, raise up your hand. Everybody will say, yeah. That means our goal as a child, I'm talking about primary school, our goal is to abandon our country and go to Europe. I just want to
so that was where manipulation started.
Sir Kofi, if you compare our age, I'm not discriminating us anyway, but if you compare our age to Sir Adam's age, you can see that a long time ago they'd be thinking of going to abroad.
So you see what I'm saying? That is why they plant the manipulation. They start planting it at a very young age.
Jakpa is a different language. They were having their own language, meaning to Jakpa in their age.
Exactly.
Again, okay. Now let's bring this to a full table when it comes to money and partnership. When I look at the word co-production, I wanted to have Austin Kenny to let us have his view on how important co-production is. Because I've used it before when it comes to medical practices, right? So co-production helps a lot when you allow your service user, your clients, to make decisions about their care and having a voice in the treatment that you are giving to them, that they can say yes or no to whatever you are giving to them. Do we think co-production is something government, when we talk about the tool now, is it the theory that the government should use, or do you think you can actually use it? I don't think Kofi want to say something first before Sanders, or is he?
I can go. I can go. No problem. Right. One thing we must understand was before colonization, we actually lived in communities, and the way these communities were sustained was through co-production. You understand? And up till today, you see unions that were built back then, like market women. You understand? All these were built back then. Agriculture was done by co-production. People helped others when they needed. Building houses was because what we did, what our people did back then was what we call trade by barter or barter system. It was an exchange of goods and services. So that was our own way of doing co-production. You understand? So in this co-production, they promoted coexistence. They promoted peace. They promoted harmony. You understand? They promoted production. And this is why normally when people try to talk about, when we talk about communism and all this stuff, I tell people that the communism that Africa practiced was different. It was communism based on community exchange. You understand? It was not about taking from someone and giving to a lazy person. No. You understand? It was an exchange of goods and services. That was what it was built on. So this is something that we can work on today, because today we have different tools. We have the internet. You understand? For example, now we're doing a co-production. Everyone is giving their ideas on what co-production is here. You understand? And people are learning. So we are collaborating and producing at the same time by giving people knowledge. You see, so this is something we can extend in different spheres of life. Like my elder was actually saying how he fought hard to bring back artifacts. Yes, right. and he had to do some collaboration with certain people who he knew that had the you understand, who are well equipped to help him do what he wanted to do. You see, and the brother who spoke before talked about how he's working with police. You understand? So it's a collaboration in which we're expecting a certain result, which is the end produce.
Wow, thank you
Okay.
so much.
Yes.
Now, I want Sir Oniadigin Justice. Are you there, sir?
Yes, yes.
I want you to kind of give us a kind of just like 2 minutes, give us a full picture of how this co-production work. If you engage in training, do you engage in seminar with the police? Do you talk to the community? Do you how can they understand? Do they understand your language? Because when we talk about diplomacy now and education, does it work? Because majority of people, when I look at that community right now, nobody like police in that community. How come you are close to them? You are working with them to help the community.
Thank you. The questions said, do we think productions can help? Yes, but we must see the angle of fairness. The angle of fairness. Then, when fairness is absent, co-productions cannot work. For example, in my own communities, we see that the problem we have is unfairness. For example, our brother said in those days when we were doing a trade by barter, and at that then, there was what we called equity and justice. As at then, there was equity and justice. So, there must be a body of regulations who regulate to actually be an independent, who will balance to ensure that these co-productions, inequality does not take place. That is why we have law enforcement agencies called the police. Another name to describe police is a mother. A mother in the home is very unique, is loving, is caring. If one side is looking bad, mother will not condemn it. He will still go and see how he can modify it to be as good as the other one. That is how production can work. But for example, when the mother in the house become unfair, I'm talking of the police now, become unfair, and we are doing business together, then I felt that you have cheated on me, and I cannot take laws into my hands. I have to report to the mother. Mother, my brother have cheated me. Then first, the mother will not kill my brother because he have cheated me. It will come in the form of equity, justice, and fairness. He will call my brother, why did you cheat your fellow brother? Then remember, the mother is not the judge. The mother his role is to investigate, a mediator between the two children. Before the dad will come, the dad is the judge. The dad is the one that will come with a scale and make sure what is the facts. And the father there is the law, the justice. Father stands for justice. So now, in a situation where we see co-productions fail, especially in Africa, in Nigeria, is that the mother there are now becoming a bias. It's now perverting justice for its own selfish gain. Let me give, for example, a person was arrested. He was a driver. He was called to pick a property. So when the driver came out, he discovered that his client or his passenger was not functioning well. He decided to call a nearby to confirm if this load that he want to carry is genuine. And when this passenger discovered, he absconded. And the driver who went to find out if that load is genuine were held responsible. And he was beaten up, was taken to the police station. He was sent to the cell. And that matter is a bailable offense. And the duty of a mother there as the police is to investigate. And in the course of your investigation, you are not to destroy. Because in section 4 in Police Act says, it said the primary function of the police is to prevent and detect crime, respect to human rights, and fundamental freedom. Now, the police took the driver and put him in the cell. Then, after 2 days, the police were requesting from 200,000 naira for bail. Then we were reached out to. They will not call the mother, which is the police. Why are you doing this? Because he now know that the money is no longer coming, he horribly charged the case to court. So now, let me not digress from the question that co-production, how can it help? It can help if we have equity and justice, which is the police stand for. Everybody, like you people in the Western world now, I don't think what we are passing, you people are passing through there, but passing through it. No, I don't think so, because our whole is that if I don't know anybody, or I don't, even though I know my rights, then there's nobody to help me to back it, I become imaginary. In fact, the matter will be turned against.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. That was full details of what we expect to hear today, if it works or not. However, you made 2 comments that I'm going to try and make it very clear. I'm not going to use my mouth. I think I have Kofi, who is going to challenge you in some of the questions you ask, if it works where we are. I think Kofi will want to challenge you that the country you are, the people who he is with right now, he's in America as he's speaking right now, but he's from Sierra Leone. However, the problem that led him to be empowering community because of what they cause in his own community. So I'm going to allow Sir Akeni. Sir Akeni, you haven't spoken about co-production. Before Kofi will be able to emphasize on the issue we are having that is affecting the bail-free community right now. I know Kofi can be able to emphasize on it so that you know where he's coming from, the bottom and the top. And whatever you are facing, he's going to analyze to you. Sir Akeni, are you there? Sir Akeni, we can't hear you. I think you need to unmute.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yes. I think that co-production can indeed help, but before we look at how co-production can help, maybe it is also important that we draw our mind back to the role of the community leader and how we can use the principle of co-production in bettering our communities. if we understand the role of the community leader as that of fostering development by guiding, directing, and organizing people to address those specific issues affecting their immediate communities, then we will be able to now, directly link how co-production can help in this specific area. First of all, for co-production to be impactful, the community leaders have to recognize the needs of their community. And that way, they are able to guide and to direct and to help, the people, the general population in their community in achieving their goals. Because from your own analysis of how co-production works, especially in the health sector, it's essentially you partnering or connecting those who are receiving your healthcare services in providing them what better suits them. Therefore, for us to achieve the optimum in our community development, from the point of the community leaders to those that they lead, the community leader first of all have to come to the level of those that they lead. That way they are able to understand what is the most important aspects and needs of their people. That in that context, you are not able to connect with the people. What do we really need in this our community? For instance, what is it that affects most of the people? You try and get your own opinion and then guide to set goals and then to ultimately achieve those goals. Let me give you an instance. In Edo State now, or in the past 8 years of Obaseki's government, he went on to invest the state money in some certain interests, which one could only describe that we better the lives of the elites, not the general public. Even while we are struggling, with the states of our roads, security, and all that, this man went ahead and decided to spend state resources in building highbrow hotels, which only the very rich can access. The question is, how can we relate co-production from the point of leadership to those that they are being led in working in this kind of environment? You are not connected to the people. You do not know what the people actually need. And so co-production in this context cannot work, because obviously we can see that what this government or what these people have decided to apportion a good portion of the state resources into is what benefits the very few. Why? Because they've not been able to come to the level of those they are leading to directly connect with them on what at this point in time affect them the most. So until the leaders come to the level of those that they led, it is difficult for co-production to work in that context. I think the difference between things that, the way things works in the Western world compared to what we have here is because the leaders easily feel the pulse of the people. And so they are able to address societal need on the basis of what is mostly important at each point in time. So yes, co-production can help in our communities, but that is until when the leadership decide to engage those led in our collective production, whether it is in economic, whether it is in politics, whether it is in finance, or the otherwise. That is my take.
Thank you so much. I think you actually, I don't think we can go further than this, how you elaborate. Before we go down to Sir Adamson, I just want to point out some reference in regard to the end of this program, because Sir Kofi is going to analyze, just let us know how far you can go. In regard to Sir Oniyedigin Justice made point about those in diaspora. He didn't use that language. I'm just going to use my own word to say what he was saying. Those in diaspora, we don't suffer, we don't understand, or we don't see what they are seeing in Nigeria right now, the grassroots, that they are suffering in. There's high level of inequality. So now, my own take is that I think Kofi can be able to explain to us that originally, when we look at co-production, do you think they bring in co-production? And when we look at the invasion of Sierra Leone, Edo State, Nigeria, or why Burkina Faso is saying they don't really want this community to lead them, do you think co-production was there originally? Or in 1960, Nigeria independent, do you think it was co-production?
It was actually co-production. I just think that we as a people must go back to study our histories a bit, because when the English came, or before the English came, our people were actually doing subsistence farming. You understand, in which the system by barter by trade actually functioned well. So how did it function? If I have palm oil and you have rice, right? And I want your palm oil, we do exchange. You understand? I tell you how much how much palm oil I needed. You tell me how much rice you want in exchange, and that was how it was done, right? But what happened after that was, when the British came, they forced us to start doing cash crops. When our people started growing crops, you understand, to send to Europe. And that was when Ghana became the leading producers of cacao, and Ghana, Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone also was part of that. Liberia was actually the highest producer of rubber back then. You understand? So people stopped focusing on producing things that promoted their own sustenance, and moved to things that gave them money. Right? So there are a lot of factors, and one factor was our people back then wanted to and what actually pushed our people more was the tax system. So since people had to pay land taxes, they had to sell. They had to do what sells to not lose their lands. They had to send their children out to this new education system of education, which they had to pay for, because we had our own cultural education, which was free, which we called rite of passing. You understand, that rite of passing in which a boy reaches a certain age, he moves with the men, and they teach him the cultures and traditions of that of that place in which he belongs. And that was the same with the women. You understand? But when the British brought in the education, it was paid for. And there are times people tend to conflict this, but I tend to I try to break it down so they understand. So it was costly. So people did what brought them money, and that was what started breaking down some of these institutions that were co-producing. Okay, so the moment they came in with money, you understand, things started dissolving. So now, our brother was talking about how equity and all these things about community. So if you look at the justice system, if you look at all the countries that have combated corruption, they made sure that justice functioned from up to down. Justice can never function from down upwards, meaning you have to start dealing with the powers. That is when the man who is down there will actually look at your system of your system of governance and how can I say, deter them from doing the wrong things. But if you take that policeman, let me just say this, that policeman is just someone in uniform who is struggling like every one of us. His salary, most times, is not enough for him to take care of his family. But our politicians are paid in dollar. You understand? And we don't produce dollar in our country. So it means that people have to work 4 or 5 times more. Because what is the cost? What is the cost of $1 in our countries? Let us check it. You understand? So you try to make people who are struggling to survive on a day-to-day basis to do the right thing. And one thing is this: if you want to destroy a human being, the first thing you must do with him is take away his dignity, which is what most politicians have done. You took away the man's dignity, then you're expecting him to be moral. It is not making sense. We can talk of Europe. Let me tell you what Africa is going through. Europe has gone through it. If you want to do some reading, you can read about the feudal system, where people needed to work to pay for their own freedom. Europe has gone through it. Go and read about Renaissance. You will understand what I'm talking about. You understand? But we can see Europe the way it is because the European governments have found a way to supply people their basic needs. People, Africans who live here will tell you, I am not worried. I am not worried about how full my fridge or freezer is. You understand? My salary is enough to sustain me and I can be able to entertain myself in that same month, as long as I leave with the money to go to work. But in Africa, most people have to leave their homes every day. You understand? They have to go into the street for them to guarantee their first meal. But then you expect that same man to act morally. It is not making sense. It is not making sense. So until we solve the problem up there, let us stop. Let us stop being exigent about people down there being moral. So let me just stop here, sir.
Thank you very much. So to finalize it now, I want to bring in Onyedingin Justice in one approach. I'm going to emphasize on it. So I know bail is free community for a very long time. I've been working with them right from day one, just like I've been working with Benin Artifact Repatriation Campaign Organization. So one of the area I think co-production has worked in bail is free when it comes to police community in Nigeria is about able to give us the chance in bail is free to engage them in conversation, right? That this person, you have taken their money and they are not supposed to pay for bail. And majority of the police have returned the money and majority of the police are working with us. So another area that we also face challenge when it comes to co-production is that there is not enough funding in regard to training our community with the police together in one room, in one place, so that we will not be separate from the activity going on. So now majority of people are not aware. Now, whenever we are not able to do that, there are some police who are less privileged, like what Kofi was saying, that we cannot expect people to behave well in such society. So they continue collecting money, they continue in their dodgy way, which is not in line with the state police leader constitution, right? They are not supporting that. This is backdoor. It's not like the government are supporting them. I don't think any government in the world will support corruption. Just like Nigerian government, they don't support corruption. But the fact is that there are backdoor activity that many of us, if not because we have media coming to today, are doing videos, we won't be able to see them in the light that police are abusing people. We will not be able to see that when we say corruption is in the world today. I can list corruption in Europe, in America, in everywhere, because there are videos online I can reference to that make my conversation qualitative, right? However, in the past, we doesn't have this. So bail is free community is suffering from co-production in regard to finance, in regard to monitoring. He also mentioned monitoring them in the activity they do, so that it helps them to be confident with the police. Because sometimes people think they are actually police themselves, so they don't want to go to them when you talk about bail is free. Because people say bail is free, come on, it's a lie. In Nigeria, bail is not free. I assure you, because I'm involved personally, I think it is free, and we have been doing it consistently. Yes, some people have dodgy. They are not speaking the truth. They do lots of things. When you try to support them, they still want to beg the police in order for them to stay away from the trouble that they are. I can say categorically, police cannot collect your money in Nigeria to come out of bail, as far as I'm concerned, or if you let me involve. Now, I'm only bold 100% in Edo State. I don't know about any other state in Nigeria. Edo State, I'm 100% working with the police, not outside them. So the chief coordinator of bail is free. Yes, sir. Can you let us know in terms of support? And Sir Adamson, you need to also contribute. How can we support the community? I know you say you are doing yours, she doesn't need support, but you should let us know. How can we support you, either membership or intervention in community, or do you have access to support bail is free community? So Justice, that can you say your own?
Yes. In fact, I'm so delighted. My brother Kofi, no wonder you have the spirit of Africa in you and the blood of Africa in you, because I carefully observe and listen to all your points you raise. You are not far from us. Thank you so much, moderator. Also, thank you. Yes, that is our major challenge. Well, one officer, this is a very high hierarchy police officer, he said, we are both doing the same job. He said, but the difference between you and them and us is that he got salary, we did not get salary. And that is the fact. There are good police officers who have not endorsed in these fraudulent acts. Why so many majority, because of the hardship or what they are also passing through, they are not willing of doing it. Now let me go to the subject matter of the question. Is that our major factor is we need awareness. Like this program we are just doing now, I'm sure many Africa, especially Edolite, are listening to it. And they can also share, and which can also give awareness. We were in one radio studio, you know. The man that was assisting us put up there, was taking nothing from us. He was free of charge, because we don't take money from any interventions. We don't. We even sometimes finance the intervention, just as our brother said, the pioneer of artifact, recovering of artifacts. Yes, that is what he will do. Sorry, I only like to give an example. One man called me. He said police just extorted 70,000 naira for him. And I was so sad. I said, can you please tell me the stations and introduce me to the officer who took the money from you? You look at it, he paused a while. Then later he now said, no. He said, I will not. He said, because what they found in my hands is an exhibit that he will not come out of it. Now look at the danger. Police have found the criminal because of the money he extorted from the man he allowed him to go. And tell me that man will go back to that mischievous act to recover what he have given to the police. These are the dangers we are facing by allowing this to continue. So we need awareness, like, going to radio station, television station, everywhere, broadcasting the campaign. Even some of the police don't even know that what they are taking is fraudulent, it's against the law. Many police also will call, Oga, this thing you are saying, they are not the ones that they are being sent by their superior to do it. And if they don't do it, they might take them away from that office. So, sir, the question or the answer to your question is, we need a support. If it is by this broadcast, giving out more awareness, in fact, we will more appreciate. Because if everybody know, the former commissioner of police that left, he told us, he said the police is not the problem. He said it's the people that is the problem. He said if police arrested you, he asked you to bring money and you refuse. He know the police know that there's a specific time for him to hold that person. That if that time elapsed, he didn't release the person, the police will be in trouble. He said, but then the police will have no option than releasing the suspect and granting it bail. He said, if the people know their rights, the police will be automatically remove their hands from these fraudulent activities. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I don't know, Sir Adamson, do you want to emphasize before me and Kofi close the program? Sir Adamson, is it that?
Very sorry, my battery was running down, so I quickly went for the charger. I noted a lot of things down that I have to actually contribute. Like what Kofi and Edigin have just elaborated. The fact is that if you look at our society, let's just base it on our society. We were badly colonized, badly structured. It wasn't by accident, it was intentional. The people that colonized us, they colonized us to be consumer. They wanted us to be, number one, they make us to rubbish our culture. They made us to reject our identity. And they made us to reject our values. If you look at us today, most of our women, they are bleaching, spending billions of African money, importing bleaching creams from all over the world. They want to be white. That is not enough. A beautiful African hair that the white people are jealous of. A white woman will plait her hair very fine, and she will go and spend thousands of money buying fake hair from Brazil, India, or whatsoever. They call it wig. These are the things, which means our value is gone. Most people, if you call, like my children here, I have 4 children here, they are all having African names. But back home in my country, a lot of people, their children don't have African names because to them, it's primitive. This is where we lost all the whole values. The police we are talking about, let me just talk about the police a little bit. I was in another program before. It was almost the same issue. Do you know that the police, their college, let me talk about Nigeria a bit. I can still talk about Sierra Leone because we are West Africa. We're all having similar problems. The British training school, they left behind. The books they left behind. The training materials they left behind is what Nigeria is still using till today. Our police are recruited to go there. They are not going there to read our law. Our law has been changed. At the moment, I think they have 1979 Constitution amended. I can tell you, our police don't know about it. The police cannot quote law, Nigeria law, not even a single line. They don't know, except those high-ranking ones. And those high-ranking ones are the one using the junior ranking ones to commit all this crime on the street. So every policeman go to police college, his goal is to pass out and go to the road and mark roadblocks and start collecting money. He doesn't know the implication because I've interacted with many of them. They have no idea what is going on. That is number one. Number two, police, many of them doesn't believe a case has to go through court. They believe it has to end in their station. They will tell you, Oga, our DPO don't know about this matter. Even CP is already interested. So this your case is 10 million. They bargain. It's not a matter of we are charging to court decide what to do. They bargain. They tell you how much you are going to pay, then you pay, then they end the case there. I know of a man, it's one of my houses in Benin, is a neighbor. He performed illegal abortion, the girl died. They put him in prison. My brother, the people gathered 5 million naira. They went and bought him out. Is that justice? No. So we have had this problem. We were badly structured. At the moment, our leaders, people who are ruling us, they don't know what to do. Like our colleague who was here before, talk about Obaseki building hotel for the elite, whatever. And I don't see that as a problem. A built hotel is no more there. Did he carry the hotel with him? No. The whole thing is that both Obaseki, both whoever that is ruling, or both the federal level or whatsoever, these guys have no idea how to govern the people. All they govern is our money. They govern our money, they let the youth to go there. Insurance system doesn't function in our system. Pension system doesn't function in our system. The judiciary is dead. No accountability. No, but people commit crime in our countries, not even in my own country, in the whole Africa. They commit crime with the mind that they can buy themselves out of that crime. And in most cases, they succeeded in buying themselves out of crime. That means if I commit crime now, I know Edigin know the commissioner of police. I just call Edigin. Please, I get problem with my wife. Go and tell Edigin. Then Edigin will go and meet the other one. The other one, we don't have in Europe. You commit crime in Europe, they read the law. You yourself, you will know the law that cover that crime you committed. You will be punished. So, in order not to deviate from this, the discussion we are holding, we ourselves, we have to hold on to our conscience. Put this consciousness into the minds of other people. Because, for example, if there is election to elect leaders, our people have lost that consciousness of looking for somebody who has a track record to say this person we are voting for him. No, either they go for what they can get, or the person belong to their community, or this person can favor me. All these interests are not giving us good leaders. We are witnessing it in Edo State now, and it's in everywhere. I came to Europe when Sierra Leone was fighting civil war that time. We know what led to that civil war. Since that civil war, have things be all right there? No. Are the white people responsible? No. We are responsible. Sierra Leoneans are responsible for their own problems. Nigerians are responsible for their own problems. Africans are responsible for their own problems. We were colonized wrongly. They were colonized for their own interests, so that they can be controlling us from somewhere. For God's sake, 70 years is enough for us to sit down and say, no, enough of this nonsense. Let's restructure our system. I tell you, if one country can rise in Africa, other country will follow, but they are not ready to do it. Everything runs about money, 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 money. The same problem we have in Nigeria, the same problem we have in Ghana, the same problem we have in Sierra Leone. So before I conclude is that in terms of, like what you said before, if people can get contribution or whatever. It's fair. During that backward time, somebody told me that time, there is no organization that run without money. So I'm talking about bail for free. My brother, bail is free. My brother, there is no way that organization will run without money. If there's any way you guys can solicit for money, solicit for money. You have to transport yourself. If you want to get things done, telling me that police will not take money before you get things done, it's a lie. The police is even helping you. It's helping you for its money. We know the money they are earning is not enough. Why is their money not enough? Because they are not making money to their outposts. The money police is making every day in Nigeria is enough for them to build themselves. That money end up in beer parlors because they don't share ticket. In America, in the developed countries, the police don't collect money from you. They give you ticket. The money go into the treasury. Our own, they collect the money, sends on to their big boss in the capitals, and they share the remaining ones. And as you see them, they operate under what do we call this? Subsidy from the government. So the police are responsible for their own problems because they allow the senior ones to use them, and we are cooperating with them. If people say no, we are not. I remember one interview I did with RTV a few years ago. I think that was a long time. If it was the one there that time running that program, I told my people that time. Okay, that was 2007. It was 2007 December. I told our people, whenever police mark roadblock collecting money, you drivers should gather yourself, go there and hold them. If they are 4 or 5, they cannot use gun to finish all of you, and they will not dare shoot gun. Hold them, tie them, take them to police station. If you do it in many spots in Benin, they will start collecting money on the roads. We have to take Africa into our hands. It's our continent. Whether we are living outside, whether we are living inside, we have to be serious. You know, Mr. Diggin, when we were doing Artifacts, we're fearless, and they respect us. If I'm delivering a speech, I don't care if I'm going to die the next second. So we have to sit down and say, this is our continent, this is our state, this is our community. We want this thing to be done. If we have this mindset and we continue to share it to the youth, to the other people, I believe that will help.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. We're just going to round up because we're meant to finish about 10 to 20 minutes ago. We were going to continue, and I promise definitely we'll create a day, 1 day a month for bail is free and the community, so that we can continue with co-production. So we'll try to make sure the police themselves will come here so that people will be able to have direct contact through us. And this corruption, we're going to do our best. As you said, we are not going to stop either way. I know some of us are privileged, but however, we shouldn't stop whatever we are doing, because the last minute, the poor are going to go over the privilege in the community if we are not doing anything about it. Sir Kofi, generally, do you have any more thing you want to add? And if you can just tally up everything in your mind in regard to co-production again. And when we talk about the faith society we have faith society, we have invasion, we also have it's not just African police, isn't it? Maybe you might be able to details on that. It's not just African police everywhere. Police everywhere, they are all the same. If you close all the camera now, there's no CCTV in the world. You're going to see what happened behind closed door. Let me just say this. Promisely, bail is free. I think Osa Feske can donate you 20,000 naira after the show. Let's see. Yeah, 20,000 naira after the show.
We are most grateful. Thank you. May God bless you. Osa, God bless you.
You're welcome. Kofi, You left. She on the show.
Yes. I just believe that we must go on sensitizing our people. The way things are becoming critical in Africa, right? And now the main decision to reverse all this will be through what we're saying, like collaborating to get things done, right? As we have noticed that the political system doesn't care about us. I believe one of the most effective ways that we can get them to at least listen to us is to step back from politics. You understand? Because if there's a theater going on and there's no audience, then there's no show. Okay, because it's like this: the people who are actually benefiting from what the British have created, they don't want things to change. And what I want us to also focus on is, I don't want us to pass down this bad system to our children, right? Because it's like we're passing down poverty as a heritage. We're passing down corruption as a heritage. So I believe we must continue with conversations like this, because people are actually looking out for information, especially and one good thing about what we're doing is this: as Africans, when other Africans listen to us speak and you understand, they can see themselves in us, it makes it difficult, it makes it kind of easy for them to absorb the information and make the change that is necessary, right? And the reason why corruption is actually going on the continent, we know, is that people know the price of corruption, so they steal enough to pay for it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
They know the price of crime, so they steal enough to pay for it, and they end up profiting. Because, for example, if I know that my crime costs, let's say, $20,000, I will steal $50,000. Then I will have a profit of 30. Problem solved. And this is what is happening in Africa. You understand? So people, we need to find a way to take power back from these politicians, bring them into our communities. And if you look at what is going on, this is why they're trying to take these communities into politics, so that they can be able to manipulate even the least community. And people must wake up and look and see what is going on. So until the people act with a level of selfishness, these politicians will not change. At times, being too good can also be a problem. You understand? Because we're so good to the point that God will send a better one. No, that's not how things happen. Right? And God wants you to act like a gadget that uses a remote control. He wouldn't have given you a brain. But the fact that we have brains, you understand, it is something that we must use. Let us put it into action.
Definitely.
So let me just stop here, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, let me just tip in here. On this note, Kofi, it's a challenge on us. What I mean is, those politicians who now call politicians back home, they were, as I said before, they were poorly structured. They are confused. Their own is about money. So we in diaspora who have seen, a lot of us get opportunity here to educate ourselves here. We know their own system, how they were structured. So we have to work together. We Africans in diaspora, we have to work together to look for a way of transferring this experience to these guys at home. The worst people are the people, the sycophants, the people dancing for them, the guys supporting them, protecting them. We have to let these guys know that, look, these guys don't know what they are doing. They're just there roaming around with money. They have no plan. They have no sense of leadership. And that is why our people are suffering. They have big cars, they live in big hotels, they speak big grammar. But in terms of building institutions, they don't know how it's done. But here in Western world, for example, Europe here especially, the people build institutions. I live in Germany here, for example. I can tell you we can run this country in 3 years without a chancellor, without a president. Because the institution run the country, not the man. But in Africa, everything is central to the president. So we have to start educating our people that we don't need these guys. As you said before, if there is no audience, there is no show. So if these guys know that nobody is going to survive through them, let them go to hell with their nonsense, then they will realize, they will come to the community. But as long as they are there now, community are looking at them, everybody are begging them, supporting them, trying to get favor from them, they will continue to bully on the people. We in diaspora, we have a lot to do. I'm happy this kind of program Mr. Edigin created, Sir Edigin created. Edigin, you are Sir, but let me make it clear, I am Eda, so I'm not Sir. I don't have a Sir, okay? I belong to the British. I'm not Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so this kind of a program is good. Let's continue to frequent here. Let's continue to feature as long as he invite us in order to share this idea so that our people back in Africa, because we are all having similar problems. Whether it's the French speaking, whether in English speaking, whether it's the Portuguese speaking Africans, we are all having similar problems because we were poorly structured. We have to look for a way to change our own mind and structure our mind and the mind of our people.
Definitely. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it. Yes. I think from next month, we're going to be doing definitely every once a month program. Then we're going to have one day for the interview. We have one day for the talk show and one day for community like Bail is Free. So that we'll be able to cover every community because we have organization coming up that is going to influence us more when we talk about African diplomacy and integration. So this will be able to sponsor different community in terms of education, in terms of scholarship, in terms of seminar, in terms of events. Obviously, one person cannot do it on their own. This community is about having time, having the collaboration. Like now, I know very well, I'm confident in regard to how we can build this community. It's not just Bako, it's not just Bail is Free. I don't want to measure it. We have about 4 communities that are coming together. This community are community that are evidence-based. So it's going to remove every community. When we talk about Nigerian Association, African Association, they are useless. So we are going to bring in community that talks from the grassroots rather than from the top. So that, like now, if you look at what's happening in Nigeria right now, there's NYFC, somebody that is having issue, that are being threatened to frustrate her. She has gone through all her education because she made a comment, which everybody are making right now to Tinubu. They said they're going to ban her, destroy all her career. And they are threatening her from home and all that. They took a private information from the education board and send it all out. This kind of thing is an abuse in the modern society. It should not happen. So now, we now have organization. It's not only to stop them, it's also to educate them. For example, what Bail is Free is doing. We are not telling them, like Showore was saying, we're going to put you in prison. We are not interested. We think everyone is responsible. If you have done something bad, if you remember in the past, let's talk about the asylum in the past. The asylum in the past, what they used to do, although they were abusing them when it comes to abusing people who are unaware. But one thing I like about them is that they were given the chance to work while they were locked up. You understand? People were given the chance to work in prison. They were given the chance to still make their money. So now they now filtered that one in. Today, people can be in prison and be solicitor. You know that. So these are our leaders that are stealing us, abusing us. We need to give them chance. The chance we need to give them is that we're going to stop them, but at the same time, they need to work for the money. The houses they are destroying now, because they know money is useless in their pocket, they didn't work for it, right? It's our money. We are not going to empower community to destroy houses. Those houses are useful in community. We are not going to let people to go and be in prison while their family is paying one police behind closed door. No, we want their community to pay for what they have done by engaging in the community. For people to be in prison, lock them up, they should be working in the community, they really commit crime. There are people that need to involve in construction. They have the strength to do that. You know what I mean? There are people that need to involve in farming. If you remember in the past, Sister Adamson, you might know more about that. We used to see prisoners going around the street, army taking them to the farm to go and work.
Yeah, correct.
To do all that. So these are things that we need to make sure we bring them back to activity. That is what all this community are doing. We are engaging in it, we are working hard, and at the same time, we encourage people to engage in education wherever you are in the world. Make sure you have the right education, you keep to rules and regulation, never disobey the law, because obviously, if you are disobeying the law, can you stop the corruption? or you don't listen to. When I'm talking about education, I'm not talking about English language. I'm talking about knowing what is happening in your community, knowing how to work together with your partner, whether you are speaking your language, your culture, whatever culture you belong to, whether you're in Ghana, you're in Sierra Leone, you're in South Africa, everybody are suffering the same thing. So don't change your language. Otherwise, you're going to lose out. UK doesn't need you to come and repair UK. America doesn't need you to come and repair America. Germany doesn't need you to come and repair Germany. We all need help to repair Africa, because that's where they say is developing in their map. So we need to focus on repairing that. That's why we are coming together. So from next month, contact Lifestyle and Culture by Alex. I will be able to give you contact on what is happening in your community, wherever you are in the world. Any country you are, we will be able to support you and make sure the abuse you are getting, we can stop it, especially in Nigeria. I promise you that we are 95% there now. So don't worry. Don't hold any bullets, don't hold any gun. Remember, there's no violence. It's just our property, like Sir Adam said, it's our property. We don't need to fight for it. It's about taking back what belongs to us home. Thank you all for coming, and I really appreciate every Sunday, 6 p.m. We're going to be here together, and always please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you again next week. Bye-bye, everybody.